Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'll be bringing you some paper cacti. So I hope you enjoy these. So let's start with the barrel cactus. And I live here in Texas, so we have some cactus. So I went to Design Space. I found the barrel cactus design and I cut it out on my Cricut machine. And now I'm just taking this pencil and I'm rolling the edges of the flower for the top of the cactus. Rolling them in towards the center just a little bit. So there's 3 pieces of the flower. I think each one is just a tiny bit smaller than the next. Just rolling the edges of the petals to the center of the flower. This one turns out so cute. So if you like cactus, but you don't like having the real thing, you can always make these. So those are just the center of the flower, and now we're going to put the flower together. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue in the center of the largest flower, and then I'm alternating the next layer so that it goes in between the petals of the first layer. And then we're going to put on the third layer doing the same thing. Once we get those layers on, we're going to put the 2 center layers on. Now I'm just taking that little center layer there and pulling up the petals a little bit, just pushing them up so they're more towards the center of the flower. Did I say this turns out really cute? Look at that flower. It's cute in and of itself. So now we're going to put the pieces together. So we have 8 pieces here of the darker green and 8 pieces of the lighter green. So the darker green has a score line in the center, so you just fold it in half on the score line, and then you're going to add your lighter green to the middle of it. So you want to make sure that the squared off edge is right where the fold is in the darker green. And then you just put some more glue on the lighter green there once you have it stuck down, and then you put the other side of the darker green on top of it and smooth it down, and there you have 1 piece of your barrel cactus. And you just continue doing the others the same way. So I'm going to show you 3 of them in real time, and then I'll speed it up so you don't have to, watch the others in real time. Because there are 8 pieces, and you do them all the same way. And like I said, I got this off of Design Space. I didn't resize it or anything. I just cut it out as is, scored it and cut it. There's our third piece. And now we're going to speed it up for the rest of them. This is a pretty simple cactus to make. And I think it turned out pretty good. I have it sitting on my tier tray. There we have our last piece completed. And now we want to put these together. So I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do here. So I'm just putting glue along the folded edge of this one piece. And then we're going to put it right beside another piece. So we have two pieces edge to edge, glued down with hot glue. Just getting the extra hot glue off of there. There we have it. So there's our first pieces put together, and now we're going to continue with the rest. So for this one, I'm just putting glue down in the center where we glued those two pieces together, and I'm going to add a third piece right there. So they're all edge to edge. Did I say these were fun to make? Yes, it was fun to make. I like making paper flowers and cacti. So we're doing the same thing to the other side. So now we have 4 pieces on, and we only have 4 left. So the 4 that we have left are going to go right in between the 4 that we put together. And you'll see that right here, I'm putting my hot glue down and then putting a piece on. Now you probably should hold these until they set up all the way. Mine kind of did get a little close to each other because they were flopping around. So if you do decide to make this, just kind of hold on to it until your glue sets up. I mean, even though mine, a couple pieces are close together, it still turned out good. I like it. And you know, everything in nature is not perfect. So, or that's my story and I'm sticking to it. And now we're on to our final piece. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So cute. My 3D barrel cactus. And now we want to put our bloom on the top, which makes it even cuter. See how some of mine just kind of went together? And now I'm going to kind of fluff the middle of the flower a little bit. Just pushing those edges in towards the center. Look at that. The barrel cactus is my favorite one in this video. It's so cute. So there we have it, and you could leave it just like this and put it on your tier tray, but we're going to take it up a step further. So I have this little clay pot, and I put some foam in there. It was just some packaging foam from a book or something like that that had been purchased. And I cut the round pieces and put them in the pot. And now I'm just gluing the cactus on top of that black foam. And then I have these little beads that I got from Fire Mountain Gems years ago when I used to do jewelry. And so I'm just hot gluing in between the pieces of the cactus there onto the black foam and adding those to it. Now these are some yellow beads, some red beads, and some white beads. But you can use little rocks. If I had the rocks, I would have used them. But I had the beads, and you know what? I need to use up some of them because I got a ton of different kinds of beads, and I need to use them. So I'm adding quite a bit of hot glue there. And putting my, I'm going to call them rocks, putting my little rocks in there. So I'm just going to go through and on each section there, add the hot glue and the rocks until I get all the sections completed. And that way it looks like my cactus is sitting in a pot with the rocks in it. Now you could have just left it with the foam because this is black foam, so it looks kind of like dirt. But I wanted to give mine something a little extra, so I do like the rocks on there. But again, it's personal preference. And actually, putting it in a pot was an afterthought. I was just going to leave them as freestanding cacti, but I decided they would look cuter in a pot. And I had some pots on hand, so I thought, hey, might as well use them. So there we have it. So cute. I'm going to turn it around here so you can see it and look the little spikes coming out of the ends of the cactus there. So cute. And here's a picture of it, a close-up. What do you guys think? Do you like the barrel cactus? And now we're going to the Sagura cactus. So I have two of them, and this is the first one. This is a taller one. Again, this is something that I got off Design Space, and I just cut it out the way it was shown. I did not resize it or anything. Now, I'm going to use wood glue on this, and I did put it in this bottle that has a smaller nozzle on it to make it easier. But you could probably use Elmer's glue. I did not want to use hot glue on this because it has a lot of holes in it, and I did not want to burn myself. And I don't think it would have worked very well anyway because it would have started drying before you could get all the glue on it. And plus it would probably puff it up or whatever, so, or get in between the holes. So I think this is a better idea. So some kind of wet glue for this cactus. And I hope I'm saying that right. Sagura. So these are the cacti with the arms. So the reason I did 2 of the Sagura ones is because I really wanted to do a prickly pear, but Design Space didn't have one in it that I liked. So I decided to do 2 different Sagura cacti. So you just add one side of the green to a half piece of the coral colored paper. Putting your glue on like that. And then we're going to put this on the other side of the coral paper. And that way the coral paper shows through the holes in the green paper. And now we have that whole piece of coral there. And that's where you're going to put your 2 pieces of green on it. So you want to put all your glue on there. And I sped this up so you wouldn't have to watch me constantly put glue on these. It does take a little while. I just put the glue on the paper between the holes. So now we're going to add the green paper to the coral paper there. And so we have half of our 3D Sagura cactus. So just pressing it down, make sure the sides are even. And there's half of our cactus. Now we're going to work on the other half the same way. We're going to take that half piece of coral colored paper and we're going to put it onto half of the green cactus there. You want to make sure you match up the edges and then lay your paper, your green paper flat on your coral paper. And now we want to take that other green piece and you want to put it on the other side of the coral paper. And this wood glue did come from the Dollar Tree. I like it a lot. But like I said, you could probably use just Elmer's glue, the white glue. I didn't want to use the clear Elmer's glue that comes in this bottle here, this bottle that I'm using, because it's kind of stringy and I didn't think it would work as well. So that's why I'm using the wood glue. Okay, so there's our other half, and then we want to put these 2 halves together. So again, you want to line them up and then press them down. And there we have our first Sagura cactus. And this is the larger of the two with more arms. Isn't it cute? And you can see that coral paper through the holes there in the green. And now we are going to do it the same way we did the barrel cactus. We are going to put it in a little pot. So I'm just cutting some slits in the top of the foam so that I can set my cactus end, bottom end, inside of it. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the bottom there. And I'm just going to press it down into the holes that I made, or slits, the slits I made. Now, the one slit I have to make a little bit larger because my cactus doesn't want to sit in there exactly straight. So there I am taking the X-Acto knife and making that a little larger, and then look at that. Perfect. And I remembered I forgot to glue the foam down. So we have 3 different sizes of foam there. So I cut down a smaller one for the very bottom, and then a little bit larger one for the next section. And the hot glue does melt the foam a little bit, but it still works. And now a little bit larger for the top section. And my glue gun didn't want to work too well. So there we have that. Now, like I said, you could leave it just like that because the black foam does kind of look like dirt. But I want to add my little rocks to it, which again are beads. If I had the little rocks, I would have used it, but I didn't, so I decided to use what I had on hand, and the beads were it. So putting quite a bit of hot glue down there on the foam, and then I'll add the beads to the hot glue. And then I'll press the beads down with my fingers and then kind of tip it so the ones that didn't stick to the glue come out. I have that one spot there you can see needs a little rock, a little pebble. But again, my glue gun wasn't cooperating. That glue gun is so old, it is ridiculous, and it's one of them that is the high heat. I can't believe it's lasted this long. I've probably had it for 20 years. I probably just need to throw it away since I have my Ryobi rechargeable glue gun that works perfectly until the battery runs down. And then I have to charge it up. Which I do like not having a cord to the glue gun, I have to say. It does get in the way. Plus it limits you on how far you can take your glue gun. So a rechargeable glue gun with no cord, wonderful. So this cactus too is on my tier tray. It's pretty tall. Well, I mean, it's not like hugely tall, but I did have to put it on the very top tier. It wouldn't go on the bottom tiers. Just adding a little more rock where I think it needs it. There it is. Isn't that cute? And here's a picture of it. It's cute too. I love it. And now on to our Sagura Cactus number 2. This one you put it together pretty much just like we did the other one. Except for the arms. We do it a little bit different. So I'm just trying to figure out which is the front and which is the back of the arms. And this one I'm also using the wood glue again in this bottle that has a smaller tip to it so I control it, but I can control it better. Because the green in this cactus also has holes all in it. And you don't want to use hot glue with it. So this cactus has 2 arms. Now on Design Space it says it's a prickly pear, but it's not, because you know prickly pears don't have arms like this. It has like more oval or round shaped petals, if you want to call it that, or appendages, I don't know. So on Design Space they call this a prickly pear, but to me it's a Sagura cactus. So we got one arm done. Now we're going to work on the other arm. Let me know in the comments if you like cacti. It seems a bit weird saying that word, cacti. So there we have both of the arms on, and we're ready to put these centerpieces on. So these 4 pieces also have a score line in the center there where you fold them. And then there's 2 of the lighter green pieces there, and we're going to put this together, this portion of it, like we did the previous cactus. So you want to make sure that you line it up and you press it down. Now you're going to take another piece of the folded cactus and put it on the other side of that lighter green. Line it up, press it down. And we're just going to do the same thing to these other pieces, so that we'll have 2 full side pieces. And this one too is sitting on my tier tray. although it was short enough to put on one of the, I think it's on the middle tier. So there we have both of our side pieces completed, and now we're going to glue those onto our piece with the arms. Again, lining it up and then pressing it down. Then we're going to do the same thing with our last piece. And look at that. Isn't that a cute cactus? So cute. Now we're going to get a pot. And we're going to glue that foam inside. Now, I don't buy floral foam from the store. I just use pieces of foam that come in packages that we get delivered to the house, because I see no sense in throwing that away and then buying floral foam when you can use the foam that you get in the packages. So I'm just gluing each piece down, starting with the smaller piece, then the middle-sized piece, and then the larger piece on top. And then I'm going to cut slits like we did the previous cactus. Cut slits in the foam there so that our cactus will sit down in it. And then we'll put some glue on the bottom of the cactus. And there he is in our pot. And like I said, you could leave it like this if you want to, because it does look like dirt because it's black foam. But again, I'm going to add my beads that I'm now going to call rocks in there. Again, just putting down a good measure of hot glue and then adding the rocks on top of it. Pressing them down. And then shaking off the excess, the parts that don't get glue on them. The glue gun just did not want to cooperate. So I have to press on the glue stick to make the glue come out better. Now I want to fill in anywhere where you can see the black foam. Put some more glue and rock on there. Just shake off the excess. And there we have our little Sagura cactus in a pot with a rock. So cute. I love my cacti. When we get to the end of the video and you've seen all 4 of these, you'll have to let me know which one is your favorite. Like I said, the barrel cactus is the one I like the best. But I like them all. And here is a picture of it. Give you a close-up. Isn't it cute? So you can see the lighter green beyond that, beyond the darker green. So now we're going to do a yucca plant. Now, I honestly thought a yucca plant was a cactus, and we have one in our backyard that's blooming beautiful. But apparently, Google tells me it is a succulent. So they say people call it a cactus, but it's a succulent. So we have these 2 larger pieces that I cut out on Design Space. And I just glued those 2 together. And now we have 2 medium size. Or actually, yeah, medium size. They're not exactly the same. Or maybe they are. I can't remember. And so we're just gluing these down larger to smaller. This one was a very easy one to make. So it's just the bottom of the yucca plant. It's not the part that has the stem and the flowers. But I have to tell you, I'm looking at the one we have outside in the backyard. Now, we didn't plant it. It just came up. And those flowers, those white flowers, beautiful. Thank you, Jesus, for our yucca plant that we did not plant. Beautiful. And then we also have some kind of squash plant in the backyard that we didn't plant. We'll have to see what it is. My husband thinks it's a pumpkin. I don't know what it is. It is in bloom. I guess we'll find out once it starts having vegetables on it. So there, all of our pieces are glued together. Now I have another pot. So I had 4 of these terracotta pots. Believe these are the ones that came from the Dollar Tree. You get 4 in a package. And then I have my foam. This is the smallest piece of the foam for the bottom. And then the middle piece. And then the largest piece right there. And like I said, the hot glue does melt the foam a little bit, but it still works. All right, so we have our pot ready. And now we're going to work on our plant. So you want all your leaves to go towards the center. So I'm going leaf by leaf and each layer, folding the leaf towards the center of the plant. Just bringing each one up, folding it a little bit. Just do this layer by layer. Now that I'm down to the last layer, I can just fold it up with both of my hands there, like you see. Squishing it in a little bit. And then I decide that I'm going to put the glue around the edges of the foam there and start adding some of the rock. Just around the edges. And then kind of dumping off the excess, the ones that didn't set up in the glue. Now I'm going to take the plant and we're going to glue that right in the middle, right on the black foam. I'm just pressing it down with my finger. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking these leaves to the center and then folding them in a little bit closer so you can't see that center circle, so that it closes in on that, because we don't want to see that. So see how I'm folding it in a little bit more towards the center? That way you can't see where we glued them all together there. I think this one turned out good too, even though it's officially not a cactus, but a succulent. Now I'm just kind of squishing it there in the center, taking it all in. And then we're going to add some more hot glue and some more rock there. Cover up that black foam. But again, like I said, you could just leave it if you're using black foam because it kind of does look like dirt. But you see I'm using my Ryobi cordless rechargeable glue gun. I think we either got it from Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm not sure which one, but one of the hardware stores. And I have this plant, Yucca Plant, sitting on the bottom tier of my tier tray. Now see how that looks a little bit better? Well, and that popped up, so we have to glue that back down. With the leaves towards the center there, where you don't see that center circle. That looks so much better. But there you have it, our yucca plant. So cute. Let me know which of these 4 is your favorite. You can put it in the comments. So here's a close-up view of it. So cute in this little pot. And now here's all 4 of them. Like I said, the barrel cactus is my favorite. And I want to thank you for watching my videos, and I want to thank my subscribers for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, don't you want to be part of Liz's Crafts? I would love to have you as one of our subscribers. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. And if you think someone else would like to see my videos, please feel free to share them with them. And I'll see you in the next one.